Hello and welcome to Post-Game Analysis. My name is Heather Ferris, and today I will be giving you my video review for the game The Last of Us. Expect to see some spoilers and hear some offensive language. You have been notified. I just finished playing The Last of Us, and the first 4 words that I could think of to describe the game are intense, dark, eerie, and gritty. This story takes place in a post-apocalyptic world where the inhalation of certain spores can cause an infection that first drives the person insane and then transforms them into a zombie-like creature. The people that are left are just trying to survive, and our main characters are tasked with delivering a potential cure. This is a game that needs to be played with the lights off. Don't believe me? I'll give you a little sample and then you can decide for yourself. Go ahead, turn off the lights.
You in here?
Seem to be somehow connected to the nationwide
Where the
pandemic.
heck are you?
We've received reports that victims afflicted with the infection show signs of increased aggression and...
Move everybody out of here now. There's a gas leak. Hey,
There seems to be some commotion coming from...
get the hell out of here, bro!
What was that? Dad?
This game is just creepy on so many different levels. Not only is the story phenomenal, but the gameplay and the graphics were excellent as well. I felt as though I were interacting with a movie.
Come here, come here. Hey, fella. Hurry up, come on. Come on.
Hey there. So fucking cool.
When it comes to gameplay, there are 3 different ways that the player can engage the enemies. The first 2 ways involved using stealth. The player has the option of completely bypassing the enemy altogether, or they can hide behind a barrier and wait for their target to approach before slaughtering the enemy with their shiv. The last way the player can approach the gameplay is by running in, guns blazing, and trying to take everyone out at once. But doing it this way either ends up getting yourself killed, or you end up expending all of your supplies right when you need them the most. Out of the 3 options, this is probably the worst option. This is definitely a stealth game. The graphics and the sounds were so well done that both seamlessly enhanced the overall feelings of tension and desperation to the game.
Joel, that's them! Sam!
Oh, thank God. We gotta keep running.
This helped increase the connection the players developed towards the characters. Both of these elements played a big part when it came to consuming the player in this post-apocalyptic world. Being able to see the characters' facial expressions as they looked you in the eyes and reacted made the game feel more realistic and film-like. And everything involving the graphics looked amazing. I could tell that the graphics team took special care in the details of this game, and that added to the level of realism when it came to interacting with this world. A good example was how every area was different when it came to the normal everyday items that were strewn across the room. It was refreshing because it reminded me of the houses that I've been in, instead of the generic crap that I've gotten used to when I've played past games. And I was pleasantly surprised when I happened upon the homage to the old 80s arcade, which for me brought back fond memories. The collecting and crafting aspects of the game were enjoyable and added to the experience of being in a desperate situation with a scarce amount of supplies while doing everything that I could to survive. I thought that the notes really added to the story.
Jesus.
And I'm delighted that the developers added them to the game. These notes varied from actual written notes to maps, to instruction manuals for upgrades, to save combinations. All different and all important to the game. I really look forward to finding one, and I would backtrack just to make sure that I didn't miss anything. The Firefly Pendants, on the other hand, were completely pointless and a waste of time. The reason why I thought crafting was so well done was because I always needed every item that I could craft. Out of all of my items in my inventory, I tended to make and use the Molotov cocktails and scissor bombs the most, probably because I love seeing shit blow up or enemies set on fire. I was very pleased to notice that the items larger than Joel's backpack were visibly seen somewhere on the character's body. The backpack held additional weapons, supplies, crafted items, notes found, and also a different kind of upgrade system where the number of pills that you collect determine the skills that you can upgrade. I focused on upgrading my max listening skills and max health skills. Weapons. I learned that the bricks and bottles are used mainly to stun enemies, move the herd, and gather enemies to one area before using one of your crafting devices. When fighting, the player had a few options that they could choose from. They could either use the bow and arrow or a shiv to kill an enemy stealthily, or the player could use a gun and try to kill the mob that followed. Another option was normal melee combat, with either your fist or a weapon, such as a pipe or wooden board. And, of course, my favorite, you could use one of your crafted items, such as a Molotov cocktail, to blow up an enemy. There are 4 types of enemies that Joel and Ellie encounter: runners, clickers, bloaters, and humans. The clickers are pretty creepy because of all the sounds they make and also because of how they look. The bloaters are those big motherfuckers that you see right there. They have been infected for a long time, and because of that, the fungus has created a tough outer barrier, or armor. These dudes are tough. Humans are another danger that need to be overcome in this post-apocalyptic world.
I warned you.
The characters and the dialogue are what make this game so incredible.
You have no idea what loss is.
Everyone I have cared for has either died or left me. Everyone fucking except for you.
The voice acting was superb, especially the actress who played Ellie.
Here, lean on me.
No.
Well, can you walk?
Yes.
Then fucking walk!
I loved everything about Ellie's character. At first, I thought Ellie's character was just a supporting role because she would help Joel when he couldn't access an area.
Okay. Ta-da!
But during the later portions of the game, you actually get to play as Ellie, and those times were my favorite when playing the game. I desperately wish that more games had a female protagonist just like Ellie.
What am I supposed to tell the others now?
Ellie,
What?
tell them that Ellie is the little girl that broke your fucking finger!
And the way that characters converse with each other, in addition to how their relationships evolved over time, should be held up as a model to future games on how to do it right. Joel is the main protagonist in this game, and he is the reason why the end of the game is so terrific. Joel is human, and the game does a good job of portraying that. He's not a good guy, and he's not a bad guy, although some of the other characters in the game might disagree.
Only a few came back. They said that the others had been slaughtered by a crazy man. And get this, he's a crazy man traveling with a little girl.
The most fascinating aspect of Joel had to do with the ending of the game, and because of that, I am now giving a special spoiler alert shout out to anyone who doesn't want to hear anything about the end of the game. This is the last topic that I'm going to talk about, so if you don't want to hear this, stop the video now. Okay, the reason why I thought the ending was so impressive is because it was completely the opposite from what I had expected. For most of the game, the player sees Joel as a good guy who is trying to deliver a potential cure in order to save humanity. But when Joel finds out that saving the world means killing Ellie because the doctors and scientists need her brain in order to research it, he was willing to become the bad guy and murder everyone, while at the same time basically saying, fuck humanity and its cure. This selfish act is easily forgivable when remembering that Joel wasn't able to save his daughter from dying in the beginning of the game.
I know, baby. I know. Sarah. Baby.
And then when Joel lied about the situation, the voice acting, the facial expressions, and the entire way that Joel lied made the ending seem so appropriate and human.
Swear to me that everything that you've said about the Fireflies is true.
I swear.
Okay.
This is one of the best video game endings I have seen to date. The Last of Us was a highly anticipated game when it launched in June of 2013, and every good review that you have heard about has been well deserved. Naughty Dog has really improved from their earlier days of Uncharted, and if they continue to improve at this rate, then I eagerly look forward to their future games. That'll do it for today's show. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Remember to subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching.